that oil deal. That is not a secret anymore. At every corner, he highlights that 2% royalty, zero taxes, and no ring-fencing provisions as glaring failures of that agreement. But here is where things take a shocking turn. What is coming to light now exposes that Barra Jagdeo and his party were not only aware of these terms, but were directly part and parcel of the same sellout he has been condemning. Last week, Christopher Ram dropped a bombshell out of Raphael Trotman's book that shocked many Guyanese, including myself. He revealed that Jagdeo, as opposition leader, met secretly with the coalition government and agreed to waive the taxes to ExxonMobil. Let that sink in for a moment. The same man who has spent years accusing the PNC AFC of selling out our patrimony was secretly collaborating with the PNC to approve one of the most damaging aspects of that deal, the tax waiver. Now, here is the juicy part of this story. My reporter asked Jagdeo directly, why did you and your party join with the PNC in Parliament and unanimously approve the tax waiver for ExxonMobil? Guys, please listen carefully and watch how he's trying to dance on thin ice, slipping and sliding his way out of giving a direct answer to this country.
Sir, the order to waive the taxes to Exxon was unanimously passed in Parliament with the support of your party. I heard your explanation earlier, but can you say why your party, including yourself, supported this waiver without seeing the agreement or being privy to it?
For one reason, that we were in the sector. We had worked very hard to get the oil industry going in Guyana. From seeking out people to put money into this industry for years, exploration, when nobody wanted to do so, to the entire period when we had a force majeure, we solved a border issue to get people to come back to the table beyond the force majeure. And so we knew that we had oil. If you look at the US Geological Survey, we knew there was oil. We support the development of an industry. We are not the PNC. We don't, because they're in government, we have to run down everything. That's why our positions have always been consistent, in government and opposition. We can, with great credibility. So we are told here, at this late hour, one, that they strengthened the agreement. They strengthened the agreement, fiscal terms. We raised the concerns, but they didn't need our support to pass the affirmative action. The motion, all they needed was to vote. Our vote did not make a difference. We said, in the context of not seeing the agreement, but Trotman said, I have the transcript of what Trotman said. He said, oh, this was an oversight. The 1999 agreement by Janet Jagan was not, let me find it for you. I'll find it just now. I wanted to read what Trotman said in there. Trotman, I'll share it with you later because it's in the Hansard and it's a big set of answer. But he said this is the 1999 agreement. We didn't say it. That didn't stop us from arguing that the provisions must be known to the populace. So that was it. It's as clear as daylight. Our position then. And we were the ones calling for the release. So you heard what Trotman said. Trotman said the vagrant told him that we are not going to oppose. Not the passage. We were not going to oppose the agreement, which we had not seen. So I think we dealt with it already. That's why I explained the Hansards extensively and what Gail Tischer, only two persons spoke on our side. And they both expressed concern about the absence of the agreement here today. With our approval or no, or support or not wouldn't matter. It was just an affirmative action.
Did you hear him give a direct answer to that question? No, you didn't. First, he rambled about how they work hard to bring companies to search for oil in Guyana. What that had to do with the question? Then he brought up Venezuela. Again, that was never the question. He said them knew Guyana had oil. Again, people, what that had to do with that question of waiving taxes to ExxonMobil. Then came his next excuse. He thought the PNC strengthened the agreement. Any of those answers he gave answered the question? Why did he and the PPP join the PNC in unanimously approving the tax waivers for ExxonMobil? That was the question, people. Did any of you hear Bara Jagdeo object to that giveaway? No, you didn't. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't challenge it. And neither did the PPP. Instead, they rubber-stamped the deal along with the PPP, along with the PNC and the AFC, handing ExxonMobil a tax-free ride to paradise. Jagdeo went on to say, which is too long for me to play on this program, that the tax waiver motion was presented to the PPP in Parliament at 7:47 p.m. and the debate started at 11:47 p.m. claiming his team was tired and sleepy. Imagine that. An ex-president, now vice president, blaming fatigue for signing away billions of US dollars every single year. This isn't bad governance, people. This is economic treason going on in Guyana. This whole country should have been out into the streets demanding answers for those decisions. Last year alone, ExxonMobil walked out of Guyana with over $4 billion American dollars in taxes. That money, people, could have paid off the country's $5 billion debt or handed every citizen over 18 a minimum of $2.5 million. That is more than $200,000 a month. Instead, they have oil lining up like dogs for fish bones, calling it cash grants, while they continue to run to the banks for more loans on our way back to manage the country year after year. This isn't leadership, people. It's betrayal of the deepest magnitude. if we don't stand up now as a people, this country's future will be sold off piece by piece, barrels by barrel, until there is no more fish bones left, not even for our dogs. The time to act is now, people. The Vice President of Guyana, Barra Jagdeo, has repeatedly over the years accused the PNC AFC government of selling out our patrimony with that oil deal. That is not a secret anymore. At every corner, he highlights that 2% royalty, zero taxes, and no ring fencing provisions as glaring failures of that agreement. But here is where things take a shocking turn. What is coming to light now exposes that Barra Jagdeo and his party were not only aware of these terms, but were directly part and parcel of the same sellout he has been condemning. Last week, Christopher Ram dropped a bombshell out of Raphael Trotman's book that shocked many Guyanese, including myself.